Hello and welcome to the Streamline and Shine podcast. My name is Steff Bolton and I'm 1/3 of Bolton Virtual Solutions, a team made up of me, Mum, and my two daughters, Sam and Amy. Our family virtual assistant agency's absolute passion is helping time-poor female entrepreneurs with those ridiculously long to-do lists, because we all know how they get longer instead of shorter, so that they're able to focus on doing what they love. You're going to want to stick around if you find yourself constantly just doing this thing quickly instead of spending time with your family, or if you look at your list of tasks and feel like crying, or even if you're just simply wondering how to manage your time better and delegate to your team. We're going to be covering topics from social media to marketing, systems and processes to outsourcing, and so much more, so that you can see what's possible for you and your business. So let's get stuck in. Hello and welcome back to the Streamline and Shine podcast with me, Steff from Bolton Virtual Solutions. And today I have an absolute treat for you. I've got my amazing friend Samantha Hearne with me, and she is coming in to do a guest expert session. So welcome, Sam.
Hello, thank you for having me.
You are always welcome on here. You know that. So, would you like to introduce yourself? Because I'm sure you'll give yourself more credit than I'll ever be able to. So, and then we can get into what you want to talk about today.
Yeah, of course. It's nice to meet you all. My name's Sam, if we haven't met before. I spend the majority of my time on Instagram as my main platform, but I work with women who have service-based businesses who want to be creating more profit, more financial freedom, and build more financial independence within their business. I specialise on supporting women in getting to the 250k milestone and building £250,000 businesses. And yeah, that's what I do.
Yes, you do. And you do it so well as well. I mean, I'm sure everyone knows that you were my mentor for like 3.5 years, which is crazy, isn't it?
No time flies.
It really does. I remember coming to you. I remember when I first found you, you were doing one of your very rare free masterclasses.
Yeah.
And there was no recording, and I was like, shit, I need to join that because she looks epic, kind of thing. And then when I joined and you were sat there dancing to Whitney Houston, I was like, she's my person, that's it. And the rest is history, as they say.
History.
Okay, so what are you going to talk to us about today? What's your topic that we're going to go through?
Well, I thought it'd be really good because I think definitely now we're in a new year, 2026, like things are so different. AI, social media, online presence, like things are just really different. So I thought what would be really good is to give people an opportunity to almost think about their perspective on how they're running their business, because some people will be running their businesses how they've always been running them, but they aren't necessarily working. Some people will be trying to do everything brand new and therefore nothing is sticking, and that's not working. Yeah. And some people will be finding their sweet spot, like what is their sweet spot when it comes to 2026, when it comes to presence, when it comes to their strategy. And that's so I think, yeah, the strategic sweet spot of your year is the thing that I would love to explore more, because I definitely feel that people find themselves in traps when it comes to that. They try and do everything all at once. They try and spin all the plates. They try something for 5 minutes, then they move on to the next thing. And it can become really difficult to build any sort of momentum with that.
Yeah, because it's very easy. I mean, as you know, I speak from experience, where I used to think, well, that's not working after about 2 weeks. Let me do something different. And it's really easy to fall into that trap, like, because you just want to make your impact. You want to help as many people as you can. And if someone doesn't react to it within the first 5 minutes, you're like, oh, well, maybe that's not it then. Maybe I should try this instead. Like, it is a really easy one to fall into, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think that validation is a massive part of it. When you're running an online business, if you don't get feedback, it's very hard to validate your idea, validate your offer. So if people aren't saying, I love this, or can I buy this, or let's move forward, it's really difficult to keep that conviction. However, in in the way that the industry is now, it does take people longer. It does require a different version of your content, your visibility, and your trust and resilience to get things over the line. But absolutely, it's such an easy thing to fall into when you're trying something and you don't get that instant validation, to believe that it's the offer, to believe that it's the idea, when it could be the delivery, it could be the language, it could be the time that it's actually had to come to fruition.
Yeah.
But for sure, that's the biggest trap, I think. People have all belief, complete belief, and then have none. Like, it's like, oh my God, this is amazing. And then someone says something online, or they see someone else that's doing something similar. They see someone give a negative comment and they're like, no, I don't believe it anymore. And that kind of fickle behavior towards ourselves, like we're so fickle, like, oh, this is going to be great. And then, oh no, that was just a pile of shit. That fickleness that we have towards ourselves has got to change. If you want to find your strategic sweet spot, you are going to have to believe in the thing more than only believing in it until someone else says it's good enough.
Yeah. And then on the other side of that, you mentioned right at the beginning there about people not changing their strategy and sticking to what they've always done. And do you find that is as common as people like not sticking to something because it's not worked within 5 minutes? Do you think that's as common?
Yeah, because it's familiarity, and if it's safe, and if it is working enough, that's the trap that fall into. You know, like maybe this is good enough, maybe this is it, maybe this is my area. You know, maybe I need to slow down. Maybe I'm not going to get where I want to go. Maybe this goal isn't realistic. And then they stay in that safe zone. So it is really common that if something's working just enough, it's very easy to not want to move away from that.
Yeah, it's that saying, isn't it? If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah. But then what tends to happen,
it's
not broken, but what tends to happen is it ages. It doesn't work as well. It's not as fresh, you know. It starts to have little cracks and taints, but of course it still works. But it's that not having the awareness of, okay, it might not be broken, but it isn't what it was 5 years ago, or I don't feel how I used to feel about it. Like that it is a really common place for people to be. You either do the stop, start, change your idea, or you do what you've always done because it does work, and you almost hide behind that.
It's safety, like you say.
Exactly that. Like, oh, it does work. Maybe this is it. That might, maybe this is as good as it gets.
Yes, I think it's also hard to take a chance, isn't it, when things are working, because it's just scary when you think you might force something into not working as well. And
100%,
you know,
100%. And that's the strategic sweet spot. I think that when you have an online business, it doesn't matter what the business is. When you're using the online space, when you're using the internet, when you are using the internet, just call a spade a spade. When you have a business on the internet moves so rapidly that it's unavoidable that things will change. It's unavoidable. As much as you want things to stay the same, and it was working and it is working in your business, it's unavoidable to be in a situation where things on the internet stay the same for a long period of time, because it moves at such a rapid pace. So it isn't always about, things don't always have to change. You don't always have to try and reinvent the wheel, but you have to stay mindful of the market. You have to stay mindful of yourself and how you feel about what you're executing. You have to be mindful about the results that you're getting. And yes, there's always a risk, you know, oh, if I change it, will it make it worse rather than better? But anything on the internet is going to have to keep moving if it wants to keep staying relevant. And that's the strategic sweet spot. The strategic sweet spot is you being able to see, okay, this is how I want to work, but I am going to have to make some tweaks. I might have to make some refinements. And these can be tiny things, but, or this isn't working. That's when you need to work out, what is your lane? You know, everyone sees someone, everybody's got someone that they're looking at that just has the Midas touch. And they're like, oh, why is it working for them? What are they doing? They aren't necessarily looking at doing something different to what you're doing. What they have done is looked at what their strategic sweet spot is. Is it that they found their voice more? They found the way that it works for them. They found their rhythm. They found the way that they want to show up. They found the way that they want to sell better. They found the key words that work for their audience. Like, all of those things are what gives someone this, or we believe, this illusion of like, oh my gosh, it's all just working out for them. But yeah, the idea of staying doing what you've always done, that's going to be really unavoidable when you use the internet to stay there. You won't be able to, because it moves so quickly. And changing to too much before you see a result, it's going to be very hard to get any form of feedback when you do that. So they both have their challenges, but for very different reasons. And if you're listening to this, you're more likely to do one or the other. You know, not both. You're either one way or the other, inclined.
Yeah. So how do you find your strategic sweet spot then? Because as you said, changing things every 5 minutes is not feasible. It's not going to work. Like, you're just going to send yourself into burnout every Friday night, basically. But then on the other hand, not changing things is not a good idea either, because everything moves so fast on the internet, like we say. But with so many different elements to consider to having an online business, like where do you start to find that sweet spot, to know whether something's going to work, whether you might need to tweak one thing? Like, how do you get started on finding that?
Yeah, really good question. I think the first thing is, when we're talking about a strategic sweet spot, strategy is the key element here, right? So a strategy is essentially an action plan. A strategy is like a roadmap. A strategy is like your sat nav in the car. So if we're looking at your strategic sweet spot, the first thing that you need to understand is what that means. That is, what is the most effective way for you to take action that's going to get you towards the goal that you want? So this is all about execution. This is all about the execution, taking action, doing the thing. This is all about the actual implementation. So the first thing that you have to do, if you want to start thinking about what the sweet spot of that is you need to know what your action plan is on a daily basis. You need to know, what are your repeatable, actionable steps? What are you doing every single day? Is it sending a daily email, doing a podcast, posting on Instagram? Is it cold outreach? Like, whatever the things are for you, what are your repeatable action plans every day? When you've got that, you've got the beginning of a roadmap. Then you can decide, do I like doing this? Right? Like, that's the first thing. Like, is this actually making me feel good? Because if you are doing things that you think you should be doing, but they're making you feel worse, like you don't want to do cold pitches, you don't want to do cold DMs, it makes you feel icky, but you think you should do it. Every time you do that, you're going to have a restriction in your body. You cannot run your business that way. So that's clearly not going to be your sweet spot. So before you even look at how to find your strategic sweet spot, the first thing is, do you have repeatable actions you're doing every day? Or do you just wake up each day and just decide what you're going to do? That's the first thing. Do you know what I mean? Right? And then if you do have things that you do every day, that's the starting point. Then you sit with those things and say, do I actually like doing these things? Does it actually make me feel good? Then you decide, then from there you say, where am I getting the most feedback? Yeah. So where are you actually getting any form of feedback? It doesn't have to be buyers. It could be comments. It could be likes. It could be open click rates, watches. But where are you getting feedback? And then the third one is, where are you getting results? If you love what you're doing and you're getting engagement, you're getting feedback, but you're not getting results, you're closer to your strategic sweet spot than you think. If you then change it again, you aren't going to necessarily get the same feedback. So this is about that. This is the three areas. Do you enjoy it? By the way, you're not going to enjoy everything in business, but
No.
So do you enjoy it? Are you getting feedback, and are you getting results? If you're getting feedback and results, but you don't enjoy it, then it's about you deciding, okay, do I want to feel more fulfilled in the work that I'm doing? And then you might change the strategy. If you enjoy it and you're getting feedback and you're not getting results, you might need to tweak the strategy. So that is like the method to try and work out what needs to change here. Is it the way I'm approaching it and doing it? Is it the strategy itself? Is it my focus on the strategy? Do I need to focus on more CTAs, more direct, explicit invitations to buy? Do I need to focus on more screenshots behind the scenes, case studies? All of that then starts to pad out how you make the strategy better. But it starts with those three questions, I would say.
Okay. So with like the repeatable action steps that you were talking about, would that be, so you mentioned like maybe posting on Instagram, sending a couple of DMs, maybe replying to DMs. It could be anything like that, couldn't it? What else might be included in that? I know that's probably like a mile long, that answer, but
Yeah, when you think about your repeatable actions, there's three reasons you need to be repeating things each day. It's either to become more visible and raise your brand awareness so people know who you are. It's either to promote your offer and sell something, or it's either to serve your clients. They're like the three things that you're doing. So some of your repeatable actions will be checking your email and checking your Voxer, your Telegram, or your Asana, or whatever your business is, to serve your clients. That is a strategy, because if your clients are happy, they're going to talk about you, refer you, stay with you, etc. So that is something that's a repeatable step. But if it was a repeatable step for brand awareness and sales, so you want more clients to come in, more people to see you, they're the things you want to be thinking about. So it could be, are you reaching out to get collaborations? Are you writing your own LinkedIn articles or magazine articles? Are you writing your own blog? Are you creating Pinterest? Are you doing anything on social media as a whole, like Threads, Reels, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook? Are you doing things on your own website? Are you looking at your own email marketing? Are you recording videos? Are you doing networking events? Are you going on podcasts? Are you doing research around what people are looking for? All of those things will be impacting your visibility as well as your potential to get sales. They would be repeatable. But then if it's about the strategy behind it, then it's around that's when you need to be thinking about, okay, how often am I actually promoting my offer? Where am I promoting my offer? How often am I having conversations with the right types of people? Am I following up with my followers? Am I following up with people that have DM'd me? Do I have a many chat automation? Do I have an inquiry form? Are the links in my bio updated? Am I going to run a free challenge, a training, a webinar, a boot camp? Am I going to do an email series? There are other things that you will do that won't necessarily be every day, but will be frequent enough, like once a month, once a quarter, to help create the results that you want, that keep that strategy working, that keep fueling it.
Yeah. Okay. So you touched on something there that I actually wouldn't mind talking about. And I did mention this to you before we hit record. So you said about videos. Are you recording videos? How much more popular are videos this year? Because I have noticed such, like, since Reels and TikTok and everything else came in, obviously video promotional stuff has hit the roof, but I've noticed so many more businesses using video to get visibility, to promote their services, like all of that kind of stuff. And I obviously said to you that I'm loving your reels at the moment, because like I know how you work and I know the results that you can help your clients get. And so seeing you talk about that, I'm like, yeah, that's hitting the spot with our audience, kind of like, do you know what I mean? So yeah, how much more popular would you say video is, and like why all of a sudden?
Well, video has been the most effective form of marketing for the last 5 years. I can't remember where the study began, but in terms of video marketing, it has 80% more effectiveness to get someone to buy
That's a
than
big number.
any other form of marketing. And this isn't just in the service-based space. This is, if you think back to online shopping, in the last 5 years, it's changed from being able to see someone wear the clothes to watch someone walk the catwalk in them. Like, someone's just walking up and down and you can see how the clothes look. Cars, you can now do video tours. Homes, if you're looking to buy a new home, you can have virtual video tours. So in every market, they have recognized the power of being able to take someone on a journey before they have to take a next step. And the easiest way to close the conversion gap is by giving the person a sense of experiencing it without having to actually experience it. So a video of a person or a product is a chance for someone to experience the service. So video in the online space, it's the most powerful way for someone to instantly connect to you, learn more about you, the way that you speak, your energy, your personality, your tone, your delivery, the non-verbal cues that you have that people connect to. Video is the most surefire way for someone to be either able to resonate with you and say they want more, find you approachable, feel like they want to work with you, or do the opposite. This person is too intense for me, speaks too quickly for me, whatever the thing is. So video is the most effective way for your buyers to experience the service, which is you, because you're a service-based business, experience the service before they buy. And it's just as effective in product-based marketing. So I would say if video doesn't feature, and face-to-camera video is definitely something you want to start doing more of, because it's a really, really instantaneous trust builder.
Yeah, 100%. And I've noticed myself being like sucked into more videos recently, like because everyone's doing ads at the moment. Like so many more people that I'm connected with personally are doing more ads at the moment, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, or wherever. And I like it. That just also shows you how much things change, because a couple of years ago everyone was like, don't do ads, organic marketing is the way to go. Like, but that shows you how quickly things change, doesn't it? And the videos that people are creating are not these like highly polished videos that are massively edited. Like, they're just raw, and you can see that it's been done in one take. Like, there's no editing on them. It's just saying the thing, done, sign up for this. So
this is where you look at this is where you look at the strategic sweet spot though as well. Like, if you are using the internet and you don't use things like ads now, it's a much more competitive market. So people are using ads because that's where the industry wants you to go. And it's almost like there's only so long you can rebel against what they want you to do. So even if you think about Instagram, what they're rewarding, right? So let's say it is more unedited, unfiltered content, carousels, reels. There's only so long you can avoid doing them before you will do them, because you know you get more reward for it. So that's the thing. It's kind of, every business has to innovate with the times, and some innovations will work and some won't. Some things will work for some businesses better than others, but the primary indicator is change. Everything is always changing.
Yeah. Okay, so going back to the strategic sweet spot. So when you start getting like the good feedback from your marketing, and you're going to have happy clients anyway because you're doing a good job with them. So how do you know that you found your sweet spot, and how long would you give it before you try changing something? So finding that in the middle balance that we need.
You'll know, because results will be coming in. It will feel easier. You'll feel like you're in flow. There'll be less resistance. You'll have more momentum. Like, there'll just be a shift in the way that you feel about what you're doing, in the momentum, in the results, in the feedback, in your creative flow. You'll be wanting to do more. You'll have more ideas. You'll know when you feel like something is working and it's landing. It will be really clear for you to see.
Yeah.
And in terms of how long do you ride that for? As long as you have that feedback. And this is the other thing, you won't then do that without making any iterations, because again, everything's about change. But you will continue doing that formula for as long as it feels good, gets feedback and gets results. And when that starts to change, well, every 90 days, I would say you're going to reflect on what's happened, like every quarter, let's say. And when you do that and you have those reflections, you'll be able to start to see, are there patterns here? Are there dips? Okay, no, actually, it's just as good as it was. It feels just as good as it did. So I would say 90-day cycles are a really good way for you to reflect on how well something's performing and how well you feel about the thing that's performing. And also, if it is time to make changes, if it's time to do things slightly differently, make a couple of tweaks. And I would describe this, if you're looking at your strategy, let's take a roast dinner. When you change something on that plate, you don't change the entire meal, or it won't be a roast dinner anymore. So if you do have a strategy that's working and it's working really well, but maybe something needs tweaking, you might just change one vegetable. It's still very clearly a roast dinner. That's the other trap that people fall into. When things start to peter off a little bit, change slightly, they just change the whole thing. And actually, what you might need to do is just change one tweak. It might be that you need to change your masterclasses to a Thursday from a Tuesday, from a lunchtime to an evening, because you've realized that there's a drop off. You might have realized that your membership model, people are canceling when they get to X points. You just need to change that experiential part. You don't change the whole membership. You don't change the whole model. So that when you're looking at your 90-day reflection, you will then be thinking about the one or two ingredients that you want to replace or tweak, not the entire meal. Or essentially every cycle of 90 days or every quarter, you're just starting your business from scratch.
Yeah, and that's the most pointless thing you could ever do, isn't it?
100%. It's too draining, and you don't need to do that. And also, it's very difficult for you to ever know what's really working and worked if you just change everything every time.
Yeah, it's all about trial and error, isn't it? And like we said, there's so many different elements to running a business online. And marketing and, all of the things. So I don't think you could possibly change everything in one go, but changing too much is just it's gonna kill you.
People do have a habit of doing that. They like kamikaze their business. Like, let's change the branding, change the name, change everything, when really what they need to do is change small things. Like that, for sure, it can be very, and also it's exciting. Entrepreneurs, we do get bored. We need creative outlet. We need change. So, but you don't want that to always be your business. Otherwise, it's very hard to keep track of what's working and what you're doing.
And also, like, on the other side of that, it's hard for your audience to keep up as well, which is why it's not going to work, because
100%.
they don't know what you're offering from one week to the next. They don't know how they can contact you. They don't know, like, it's just going to be so confusing for them.
They don't want to catch on.
Yeah, because if you're giving them a spaghetti bolognese instead of a roast, they're not going to be happy.
That is what people do. And then it's, hang on, I didn't think that that's what you did. Oh, yeah, no, I do this as well. And then it's like, what, really? So they've come to you for this. That happens all the time. That is so true. You've got to remember that your area of expertise is not the thing we're trying to change every 5 minutes.
No.
It's how it's presented or the experience around it. It's not the actual core fundamental of what you do.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so is there anything that we haven't spoken about that you wanted to cover?
Really, I think it's just as you go into, like, we're recording this quite fresh into the new year and in the new Chinese year. It's really important that you don't get swept up in everything. If you're trying to really grow and stabilize or scale your business this year, you are going to need to have more self ownership of what you're giving your time to. And in a busy climate, the internet is so busy with everything, even with TV, reality shows, adverts, it's everywhere. Your self ownership of where you want to consume, how you want to consume, what you want to do is going to have a massive impact on how you feel about your business and the work that you're doing. Which is why I thought it's good to do this, because we could have spoken about how to make more sales, how to sell out a launch, how to do all these things. But ultimately, in order for you to get the best results, you do need to know what your tasks are meant to be. What are you trying to execute on? Otherwise, you'd listen to this. It would become another brand new idea. You then act on this, throw away the thing that you were going to do, then listen to another podcast and do the whole thing again. No, and then that's you. I don't want to do that. So I thought it'd be good for everyone listening to this to have a bit more of an awareness and an understanding of, okay, I really need to work out where my golden opportunity is, and that focus.
Yeah, definitely. No, I've learned stuff that, like, and I've learned over the years from working with you anyway, that creating new stuff is not always the answer when you don't get the results that you thought you would. And you'll be pleased to know I've had the same services for over a year now. So
Right, and that's the thing, we want that. Because then everyone knows it's the roast dinner. Like, it sounds silly, but it's true.
No,
They
it's a
need
good
to know,
analogy.
you know, it's like, I need to know why I'm coming into this restaurant. And then if
Yes.
all of a sudden you're serving something else, people are like, what?
Yeah, because
Oh, I've been told about this and I've been told about that. So it is, it's trust, credibility, brand awareness. So your services speak volumes from that. So I think that is really good.
Yeah. Okay, well, I think that's it then. Well, thank you so much for joining me again. I always love chatting with you and listening to you and your wisdom.
Thank you so much for having me. I've loved it.
You are always welcome. Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Streamline and Shine. If you have questions on what we covered inside, please feel free to reach out to us on Instagram at Bolton_virtual_solutions, or you can email us at teambolton@boltonvirtualsolutions.co.uk. We absolutely love hearing from our amazing community and are always here to support you. If you'd like to be interviewed on a future episode, please drop us an email letting us know which topic you'd like to speak about and we'll get back to you. See you on the next episode, lovelies.